So it's weird with this episode of Tokyo Ghoul. I felt as though what it was trying to do, it did do some awesome things. And I definitely felt as though it was showcasing some things that I would have liked to get a little bit more detail on in the actual manga, because the stuff with the ape, the stuff with the black dog, it was kind of like glanced over, like you glazed over or whatever, and you didn't really get full exposition as to the status of what happened to them and everything like that. So in that aspect, I liked it. At the same time, the struggle and everything was done very nicely and everything, but I just think that we needed to space things out. Like, honestly, one of the biggest things, again, which was, I guess, a complaint people have with Season 1 personally, I'd say Season 2 had more of that problem, even though they're trying to do this Route A and they're changing things around, but still, nonetheless, pacing. I definitely say that we needed a little bit more room for exposition, and like this episode was just all fighting, and don't get me wrong, I love some fights like the next motherfucker. I mean, at the end of the day, it was some pretty awesome shit, but you need a little bit of room for exposition to build things up a little bit more in between things and the in between scenes or whatever. And when like the biggest pieces of exposition or whatever, or just in general things that are happening, is Toka running. It's like Toka runs, Juzo's going fucking crazy, which again, I'm not complaining, honestly. Like, the action in this episode was just through the fucking roof. But, with all that being said, you do need to give better pacing, because it's just wham, 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 without the build-up. So like I said before, Double Ape fucking going in. I ain't gonna lie, I actually like him a lot more. I will say, I like the Double Ape and Black Dog, and I appreciate them more in the anime than in the manga. In the manga, I was like, damn, this sucks, fuck. And this one I was kind of like, damn, Double Ape, don't die, motherfucker, Black Dog, what are you doing? So, just to see them at the same time, I felt it gave a little bit more into the character as well. I think that Route A, what they did is like more minuscule characters like that, which they're not necessarily minuscule, but, they didn't have a major impact, I guess, emotionally or as characters in general in the actual manga. So to see them actually get their moment and kind of it being tragic that way was pretty fucking awesome. And at the same time, it was also building up Kaneki, which I think, again, the scenes with Kaneki would always have more impact if Route A wasn't so Kaneki-less. Like, this whole season has been mainly from the perspective of the inspectors, when again, we should have had it from the perspective of Kaneki. But with all that being said, still, him coming in, it was kind of like fucking Super Saiyan Kaneki or some shit, just blazing through and kicking everyone's ass. Now, I ain't gonna lie, Juzo in this episode kicked motherfucking ass. I think some of the best action pieces was Juzo just going in against Yoshimura, the One Eye, whatever the fuck you want to call him. And honestly, they did the scene justice when he's going there for Ukina and, like, he's going to hold her hand or whatever. Yoshimura's a tragic character. Honestly, I think they're doing tragedy for different characters in this one than what the original Tokyo Ghoul manga did. Like, Yoshimura right now, tragedy. Honestly, what happened, that just fucking sucks. His life was shit. His wife died like that after basically cannibalizing herself just so that she can feed the baby and everything. And for him to die like that, having that kind of, I don't know, call it spiritual awakening or whatever the fuck, it definitely gave a little bit more like a sentimental feel, and that was done nicely as well. And the way they were building Shinohara as well, I think it was kind of done good in a sense of where he was like, oh man, you could tell that there was a little bit of regret, because he did feel like this was a decent person, but at the end of the day, the job's a job, and you gotta do what you gotta do, and it's humanity versus the ghouls. And if you notice, they're taking that concept, which a lot of series do, and I'm fine with it. At the end of the day, it's a concept that is very well justified and showcasing, like, who are the true monsters when the ghouls are protecting the old lady and stuff. When the black dog went to grab the old lady, and the humans is like, fuck that old bitch, we killed that bitch too, take her out. How are the humans justified when they're willing to kill innocent people just for their cause, and the ghouls are sacrificing themselves? It really makes you look at it in that perspective, like, yeah, they're supposed to be the... I see what you motherfuckers is up to. And then two big setups at the end of this episode, which was hype as a motherfucker. First of all, with the one-eyed, the true one-eyed showing up, going in. I will say that there were certain pieces of the episode that did have really good art, because for the most part, the art, it was good, but it wasn't anything standoutish, which I think in the manga, that's another thing, which again, I keep going and comparing, because I know that that's what a lot of people do want to hear about, which is my experience with the manga compared to what's going on with the anime. I think the manga has really gorgeous art a lot of the times, and the anime only does it some of the times. Like, there's some scenes where I'm like, you can really make this look, beautiful and really make this stand out, and they kind of don't. But those ending scenes when One Eye was going in and that fucking grin and everything, that was sick. And then Kaneki versus Amon, which Shinohara stole a lot of spotlight or whatever, which, by the way, I don't know, was he headed off to somewhere? Okay, yes. terrible joke. I get it. All right, I get it. But Kaneki versus Amon, I think that that's one of the most important fights out here because it's not necessarily something that should even happen when they both have the same objective. I guess they just went about it. Well, if you think about it in that aspect, it's like two different routes to the same goal. While Amon is trying to do it from the inspector side, Kaneki is trying to do it from the Ghoul side, and they're trying to go to the same way, but ultimately they have to go through, different routes to get there. So it's very interesting that that's going to be the climactic conclusion, seemingly anyway, or final fight of Tokyo Ghoul. It's like Amon versus Kaneki now. I don't know if they're going to go exactly some of the stuff from the manga, but I'm hyped to see that as well. Hopefully they do some really good job on the art because there's some very big pieces that I'm looking forward to. And with all that being said, very good episode. I wish the pacing, again, nothing we could do at this particular point. We only have 12 episodes a season, but I wish the pacing would have been a little bit slower and a little bit more exposition driven inside of some of these scenes. Also, I think that, again, a little bit less just in general on like some of the fighting and a little bit more build up, but still awesome action pieces, awesome build up, and interesting progression to say the least. Is like now as a manga reader, I'm kind of confused as to what the fuck's going to happen towards the end, so I'm really looking forward to it. So yeah, 8 out of 10. Let me know what you guys think. What did you think about this episode? What did you think about Yoshimura? Did you feel for him? Did you feel for Black Dog and the Devil Ape? And how do you feel about this final fight? Who do you think is gonna take it? Kaneki or Amon? And your overall thoughts of the episode, but that's all I have for this review. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. If you liked anything I had to say or enjoyed the video, drop me a like. I'd greatly appreciate it. And if you haven't subscribed, if you do so as well, that'd be amazing. I'm ForneverWorld, and as always, people, have an awesome day.